It's not necessarily shoving it down their throats, living this healthy lifestyle. It's leading by example, that I'm going to show you what I do and you'll see how it benefits. Welcome to Whole-ly Chit with Kristy Austin. I am your host, Kristy Austin, reminding you that you are whole. Also, chit is a Sanskrit word for pure consciousness, what we all strive for, right? So here we are on today's episode. I am super excited to announce our special guest. She's become one of my very close friends who I absolutely adore. Her name is Addie Hidalgo, owner of Energized Nutrition and AZ Body Bar. She is a boss babe. Please give her a warm round of applause. Addie!
Guys.
Yeah, so happy to have you here, Addie. And I love your spot because it's super cute. It's Instagram friendly. Like every wall has like somewhere fun to take pictures, and you make your drinks like fun to take pictures too. Like just the colors. And of course, my favorite drink is the matcha tea. You know that every time I go in there, I'm like, I'll have my matcha. But tell us what got you started in living this holistic nutritional lifestyle.
So my husband and I have been pretty healthy for the most part. We live a healthy lifestyle, healthy, active lifestyle. And when we moved to Arizona, I didn't have any family or friends here. So we decided to open up this coffee shop, which has like a healthy energy vibe. When you say holistic, which is great because I'm also a wellness coach. So if you come in here and say you have a stomach ache, I have the tea for you. You have a headache, you want some energy, you want a detox, I have all the answers for you. All the teas, we have we have protein shakes, we have protein waffles. So we're a bit of a healthy coffee shop. So there was nothing really like this in the area. So that's why we decided to open up Energized Nutrition.
And I love it because you have events there also. So I've done yoga events at your shop. And what I love about you, you say that you customize your drinks depending on what you have going on. Like I've done yoga after dark. And because it's a late night yoga, you do very calming teas that helps everyone get calm and relaxed and ready to sleep. So that's, one of my favorites. But then you've also done that gives you tons of energy. And I love the fact that you customize it depending on what people have going on in their life. That seems like extra special. Now, you and I are both mothers.
Mhm.
So how important do you think it is that we show the new generation coming up about nutrition? Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's super important because there's so much crap in our food, and the fact that we live healthy, active lifestyles as parents, our kids have kind of fallen into that. My kids, we went to Menchie's yesterday and the kids are like, we want sugar-free frozen yogurt. Or even when they go to other coffee shops, they want like low-fat, sugar-free. So that's really good that they're healthy. They live healthy, active lifestyles themselves. It's super important because then they live longer and they're not sick. I feel like a lot of people have stomach aches these days. And so I think it's super important for our kids to live a healthy, active lifestyle as well.
'Tis the season that the viruses are going around. Everybody seems to be getting sick. But if you keep your immune system strong, it won't affect you, right? So it is important to teach our kids. I agree 100%. And just setting an example for them so that they follow suit. That it's not necessarily shoving it down their throats.
Mhm.
Living this healthy lifestyle, it's leading by example, that I'm going to show you what I do and you'll see how it benefits.
Mhm.
So you really do that with your kids, showing them the active healthy lifestyle, which is very honorable to do. And, as I think with this generation and this day and age, with social media, it's so hard for children. Our children really do have it so much harder than us,
Totally.
because we're constantly, showing them what they think the image of perfect is on social media. It's, I'm never skinny enough, I'm never, voluptuous enough, I'm never, they are constantly getting that shoved in their face. And I remember, even as a kid, watching my mom being in the model industry, like her looking in the mirror, and if you couldn't see through her thighs, she thought she was fat. She was calling herself fat. And in my head, I'm going, like, I've never seen through my thighs. Am I, you know, so what, we look up to our parents and we mimic them. And what we show our children is so important, letting them have that self-love, but also love yourself, because you can you can have enough gratitude and respect for yourself to take care of it, to put good nutrients into your body that will support the immune function. So I love your shop. And then you also went into this route of, which I love, of you also opened a place called Body Bar,
Mhm.
which does frequencies. And tell us a little bit about that, because I am like a big believer in, don't try to change yourself. I mean, no disrespect anyone who wants to go under the knife. That's to each his or own. I just feel like there's other options out there. I'm an energy worker myself, and I know the power of frequencies. So when I found out that you had this business where, a Body Bar, where you're working with frequencies to help with skin tightening and stretch marks, and let's admit it, I have 4 kids. I was like, yes, don't have to go under the knife, and I can work on my stretch marks. So I've taken your course before, and I absolutely love it. Tell us a little bit about that.
So when you say holistic, that's what body sculpting is. It's holistic beauty. So basically, we're enhancing what you already have. I do a lot of lymphatic drainage. Not everyone cares about going under the knife, or some people just want to get their stomach sculpted or their stomachs massaged. And I do non-invasive. Everything's non-invasive, so there's no downtime. Basically, you can come in, you can get cavitation, which is melting the fat, radio frequency skin tightening. I do a lot of BBLs. We live in Arizona, so people want that, booty. I also do
BBL is exactly, because
what?
there's a couple different BBL machines that do different things. So tell us what your BBL is, because it's not necessarily,
So
you
this
know,
one's a vacuum butt lifting machine. So basically, we get 2 cups, place them on the booty, and it lifts them. And then while they're getting their BBL, I do a cellulite treatment. So basically, I'll do the lymphatic drainage on their legs, both legs, sculpt the legs, and then I do the drainage as well. So I'll get my wood therapy tools and just kind of drain everything, lift everything, and that way they're ready for their event or their vacation. But yeah.
now, just to be clear, this isn't something that's permanent. It might plump the booty for a week or so,
Yeah.
right? But so it's not a permanent, but it's a whole lot of fun, right? Especially if you have an event, you want a little pop back there.
Exactly.
who
Yeah.
doesn't who doesn't, right? So that is a lot of fun. That's one thing. When I went through your training and I was practicing on my soul daughter, who I adore, I was like, she's like, I'm down for you to practice on me. I'm like, you're such a tiny thing, you're not even gonna make a difference. But we'll show you the before and after pictures. It was amazing just
Mhm.
to see the sculpture, the body like sculpted after such a short period of time of practicing on her. And my personal favorite, even though I love the frequencies and the machines, my personal favorite is the wooden tools doing the lymphatic drainage, because I could
Yes.
literally feel, being an energy worker, I could feel the energy move through and shift. And that for me was so powerful. I'm like, yes, I feel it. And to see the transformation immediately, it's like it you know, doesn't take multiple treatments. You see results after the first treatment.
Yep.
So and the fact that it's holistic, it's natural. You're literally moving your lymphatic, system around and
Mhm.
pushing things out. And it's not abnormal to have to use the restroom right afterwards, just saying. But it's moving that lymphatic drainage system. It's like, okay, now you got to go. You got to go. you know, purge it all out.
Yes. Yeah, we're
Like,
detoxing the body. So some people lose up to 3 inches and they just feel so good. A lot of people don't rub their stomachs or do lymphatic drainage. They've never had it before. That's my number one treatment. Like I'm always pretty much fully booked. I only have like 2 spots open this week. Next week, I'm almost fully booked. I'm getting people from all over Arizona just coming to see me. And that's kind of what I specialize in is lymphatic drainage and wood therapy tools. Because honestly, there's not a lot of people here in Arizona that are doing the wood therapy or the sculpting. That's why I created the Body Bar Academy. So I've trained over 50 students now, and
I
and
want
just trying to get people to go the more holistic approach, because you're right, social media does take a toll on these young girls. I talk to a lot of my clients that have daughters, and a lot of them are already getting eating disorders, or they're scared to eat anything because they're afraid to gain weight. And it's so sad to me that we live in a world where we have to watch our daughters being scared of what they eat or how they feel or how they look. And that's why I love the more holistic approach, because it's non-invasive and we can sculpt the body and detox and enhance a little bit without going under the knife.
yeah, exactly. I agree. It's for me, it's so incredible that in this day and age there's so many different options there, but there's holistic ones. You don't have to go under the knife. You can try these treatments that are very non-invasive. You leave, you continue on with your day, you don't have bruises or anything crazy going on. You
Mhm.
feel amazing afterwards. I mean, it's great, for if you can't move your system around and you're a little stuck. It's moving that circulatory system,
Mhm.
so you feel good afterwards. And then you also want to eat healthy afterwards, because you have to remember that, like, when you move that lymphatic system around, not only are you detoxing, but if you're not drinking a lot of water and eating healthy foods afterwards, those toxins will sit back into your body. They'll settle back in, correct?
Exactly.
So we want to move that around. But with our children, it's being that example that you can try these other things. You can be confident and proud in your own skin without going under the knife. You don't, just because you see everyone on social media going under the knife, that doesn't mean you have to. You can embrace your beauty, yourself, the way that you are, and eh, try the natural thing. If you had 4 kids like me and you have stretch marks, try these natural things to like
Mhm.
help with those stretch marks. There are things out there that you can do where you don't have to try to, you know, chance harming yourself,
Yeah.
which it is always a risk when you go under the knife. It is
Totally.
always. So, there are other options out there, and focusing on health and diet and nutrition, I believe, is so important. I love the
Mhm.
fact that you're being that role model for your children. What else have you seen within your kids since you started this? Because you're such a boss woman. You're like either at one business or the other, or you're vacationing. You're just like always, on the go. You're go, go, go. So what is one thing that watching you've seen a shift with your children, or have you?
Well, this is like a family business. So my kids are here right now behind the bar, and they kind of, I don't want to say coach people either, but like some people come in and they'll ask my son like, I'm feeling a little bloated. What kind of tea do you have that can help me detox? And he's like, oh, okay, the apple fiber. I'll throw a shot of that in there. So that mindset for them has kind of helped them, make suggestions for our customers. And my son, he's already lost like 30 pounds. He's going to the gym. And, Haven, she's super, super healthy. She's been in dance since she was 3. Now she plays volleyball. My son, he's not playing football this year, but, he's lived a active lifestyle he's always been in sports since he was little. So we've just kind of created this family of being active. And
Have you always been active, or was there a shift within your life that happened that you were like, you know what, we need to start living a holistic lifestyle?
Honestly, the beginning, like the early 20s, I was a lot chubbier. I was not healthy. I don't want to say I was not healthy at all, but I didn't care about going to the gym. I would go walking and that was my workout. And that's why I never really lost any weight because I didn't push myself. And as I got older, my mom would always say, you got to take care of your health. You got to take care of, watch what you're eating and, health is wealth. And that kind of stuck with me. And I'm like, I need to lose some weight. And so, got on a program and lost a bunch of weight. And that kind of was my motivation to look good in clothes. And I started going to the gym and I've probably lost like, I don't know, 50 pounds, to be honest. It's been a lot. So I think the beginning of my 30s is when we really started. My husband's always been active, always gone to the gym since we were really young. He's always been in great shape. And yeah, the early 30s for me is when I kind of started paying attention to more of my wellness too. Like I drink tea, hot tea every single day. I make sure I move my body for 30 minutes, even if I'm tired or exhausted. For me now, like that's non-negotiable. I'll take Sundays off. I won't work out on Sundays. We go for longer walks in the morning when we walk our dogs. But Monday through Friday, there's no exceptions. I have to go to the gym. Even when we were in Puerto Rico this past weekend, went to the gym every single morning, even though there were quick workouts, but that's what keeps me going. Like it sets the tone for the day. I'm an early morning, I'm at the gym at 4:45 every single day. So yeah,
I
I want to live a healthy lifestyle for my kids. I want to be healthy to have grandkids and, be able to jog when I'm 60 years old.
Now, do the kids go to the gym with you? Work out?
No, Jonas goes on his own. My husband goes at like literally 4 a.m. Haven, I have a Peloton at home. She does get on my Peloton pretty often, but she's also in volleyball, so she goes to practice and she's in PE every day. So those are like her workouts. We go for our family walks when we walk the dogs in the afternoon. So all of us are always moving our bodies.
That's good. That's good. So you said it was like in your 30s you saw this shift,
Yes.
and the kids, I'm sure, saw it within you.
Hmm.
You changing, because I know, like when I started yoga, my kids, they were watching me and they're like, "Wow, that this is a change happening within mom," and I could see them starting to pick up these traits. Um, I wish I had started it a lot sooner, to be honest. In hindsight, but it's amazing the transition as parents that we can see in our children.
Totally.
Once you decide to live that holistic lifestyle.
Yeah. And I became a yoga instructor as well. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's not just moving your body physically, but also mentally. So I teach restorative classes. So mine are more relaxation. But the fact that my restorative classes help soothe the body, soothe the mind, I end it with a sound bath. And so it's not just about being super active and lifting weights and going for 10-mile jogs. Also, we need that time for ourselves. And stretching is really good for the body as well. You don't, like I said, you don't need to work out hardcore. But even I have some clients that do yoga. They just started doing yoga and they're already down like 10 pounds just doing yoga. I'm like, what? That's awesome.
I love that. I love those stories, because I feel like it's this awakening that people are having with their physical health
Mhm.
lately, and maybe it's since COVID. I don't know, but it's this awareness that people are having, that they want to live a healthier life, and I think it's such a beautiful thing, because before we would put out all of our um belief system in doctors, right? It's like, oh, I have an ache or a pain, I'm just going to go to the doctor and have it taken care of. Well, now it's like, take control over your body before it gets there, before you need to go to the doctor, so that way you hopefully can bypass going to the doctor at all, because you're be in such great, incredible shape. You'll have no need for that.
Yeah.
So I've seen this awakening with people where it's people are really more open. I know, at least for me, because I talk about this stuff all the time, and it seemed to be people would be very closed off listening, and now people seem to be open. Like, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear these different techniques or treatments that I can do to make myself healthier. Have you found that as well?
Totally. I feel like people are more open-minded these days and closed off. Um, even just like my family, I do yoga and, the sound baths, people were like, what is that exactly? And I'm like, until you take a sound healing class, you will know exactly how you feel. It's something that you can't explain. I mean, obviously, but I feel like people aren't as judgy anymore. People are open-minded. People are more into health and fitness, I feel like now. And I feel like a lot of the younger generations, like I said, some of my clients that I've talked to, some of my customers, their kids are more cautious about what they eat and, being active. So that's really good that our generations are starting to care more about their health. It's not just, you know, candy bars and sugar and all these other things. They care, which is crazy. And I'm next to a school. There's an academy right next door, and a lot of the parents come in and they're like, thank you for opening up a shop that has sugar-free options. There's no Red Bulls or Monsters or anything like that. So, and the kids they'll say, is that sugar-free? And I'm like, wow, these kids are like 15, 16, and they care that it's sugar-free. So that's really great to see.
Believing Before Seeing, a new book by Candace Barr, teaching you how to believe into existence. Available now for pre-order.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are because I have to go back to our children because they're just such an important part of our future, right? We're not going to live forever, so it's like that's the net of health. What are they going to bring to the world? Like, they're going to take it. I have no doubt. Our children are going to take it to a whole new level. We think that we're proud of ourselves for, doing all these nutritional, eating nutritional foods and vitamins and minerals and doing these alternative things for our body. But our children, they're the ones that it's going to skyrocket. I have no doubt that things that they're going to come up with and learn is going to be so powerful. So, like, what's a message for them? Because I know it's so hard for our kids. Our kids are on social media and they're getting bullied. I mean, I get bullied on social media. Can you imagine in like a child's mind? Like, how do they handle that? Like, their minds aren't meant to have to process such diversity on social media, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows. It's so hard for them. So I really feel like having a clean body helps them to function neurologically, just to be able to deal with that. What would be your advice for our children coming up, or even a nutritional, like what's like one nutritional piece of advice you can give them that, like, take this every day, it will help with neurological things that you're going through at school? Or like, what's one piece of advice you think is the most important to give our children, if that makes sense? That was all over the
Yeah,
board.
it does. I feel like don't compare yourself to others, because every single person has their own body type. You're not going to have the same body type as anybody else. So do what makes you feel good. There's a lot of kids that are in sports, but as a parent, I feel like it's important to not shove it down their throats, but be active and be healthy, because there's so many obese kids. And honestly, I don't want to say it all boils down to the parents, but parents do have a role in, their kids' weight, what they eat. A lot of the times I don't judge people. I don't judge any parenting, but a lot of the times I see some of these parents just buying them all these sugary drinks every day as a war, like rewarding them. Or, every morning we're going to go here. I don't want to say any names, but, let's get these sugary coffees every morning. And I'm like, why are you giving your kids all this sugar? I feel like I'm judging right now, but I'm trying not to. And it just blows my
I know
mind.
you didn't say any names, but I know exactly what place you're talking about.
Exactly.
Wink, wink.
Um, yeah. So I feel like as a parent, if you live a healthy lifestyle, your kids will fall into that too.
Right, right. And I love that because it's true. As parents, we use sugar as a reward. It's like, oh, or we want to shut them up even. It's like, oh, here, what do you want? You want this sugary drink? Here's a soda.
Yeah.
Here's something. It'll make you happy. It'll make them happy for 2 seconds. And then they're going to be bouncing off the walls for the rest of the night. I remember my mom, she packed our lunch, and she was very much into living a holistic lifestyle, very young, and she was made fun of for it because it wasn't a thing back then. It was
Yeah.
like all of our friends had Cheetos in their lunchbox, and we didn't. We had cheese puffs. It was like the healthy version of, Cheetos. And she got a lot of slack for that. A lot of moms, made fun of her and gave her a lot of grief for that. And I'm so grateful for it because I feel like it set a precedent for me growing up to live that healthy lifestyle. Even if I veered away from it and at times thought, oh, this is a bunch of bull, I came back. I came back to it, and I have that foundation. And I feel that is so important. And to be honest, like, I don't even like Cheetos. Like, I remember a friend trying to give me a Cheeto when I was a kid, and I'm like, ew, this, like, try my cheese puff. It's way better. So, like, if we start them young, giving them healthy fruits, vegetables, and snacks, they will have a taste for those things. The other stuff that is full of preservatives won't taste good. I eat that stuff and I can taste the preservatives. It's like, okay, I'll eat it if I'm starving and I absolutely need something. But other than that, it's not my go-to food.
Like yesterday, we went to Costco and Haven went with me. And I'm like, okay, pick whatever snacks you want. And if she wants to get, bad things, she totally can, but she does not want to. Like, even when she was a 3-year-old, I'd put a bowl of ice cream and a bowl of strawberries, and she'd always go for the strawberries. She's a super healthy kid. So like yesterday, she's like, Mom, I'm gonna get pita chips instead of like the regular chips. And just hearing that, I'm super grateful for that. It has rubbed off on them, because she, at 12 years old, I'm so proud of her because she has a skincare routine. I'm like, when I was 12, I mean, I barely have a skin routine now.
Right?
She has a
Like
whole
a
skin.
bar of soap. That's what you use on your
Seriously.
face, right?
Oh yeah. We went to Sephora and got a couple of things, and she's like, no, you're not going to Sephora for products for your face. Like, you need to get like, I don't know. It's just really cute to see that, these kids do take care of themselves, but also you got to be a lot of these parents are scared because they're like, oh my God, my daughter has an eating disorder, or, they really do compare themselves to social media. And it's like, no, half that stuff is fake. Half of it's Photoshop. Not all of it is real that you see. So don't compare yourself to people on social media.
That's so true, because most of these pictures that we see on Instagram, they're edited. They're very highly photoshopped. There's all kinds of cool apps out there that you can throw them through and do a little quick edit. And our children are seeing that and they're comparing themselves, thinking that there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. They're perfect just the way they are. And it's focusing more on embracing your self, just the way you are, your body type, because like you said, we all have different body types, tall, short, we're all different. So it's not comparing yourself to that person next to you, learning to love who you are in your own skin, how beautiful you are, and appreciating and having gratitude for your body, because it does so much for us day in and day out. It's always there for us. So it's, instead of judging it and putting these negative words, things we say to ourselves, oh my goodness, it's really started bothering me lately, being around my friends, my loved ones, when I hear them speaking negative about themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's so damaging.
Yes. When I hear people, like my clients, speaking negative to them, like about themselves, it literally drives me nuts. I'm like, you're here, you're happy, you're healthy. There's no reason to care that you have a mom pooch, or you have cellulite, or you have inner thigh, issues. I'm like, love yourself no matter what. Well, the one thing I always teach my kids is to be kind, because we live in a world where it's rotten. Like, there's so much negativity going on that I teach them to be kind no matter whether they're at school or, don't judge people. You never know what people are going through. Everyone goes through different seasons in life, and you can't judge people for what season they're in, because we're all going through something. Right. And the biggest thing I teach my kids is to be kind, because like I said, the world is crazy right now, and why throw more negativity out into the world? I teach my kids not to body shame anybody. One day my daughter came and told me that people were body shaming another girl, and the word body shaming was never even in my vocabulary until like 2 weeks ago. Haven's like, Mom, they were body shaming this girl. And I'm like, oh, I'm so proud that she actually stood up for somebody that, was getting body shamed. And I'm like, very proud parent.
You know that you've done a good job as a parent and you're raising your children well when you hear things like that, because it's true, teaching our children to always have kindness for and compassion, kindness and compassion for everyone. And mostly it starts with ourselves.
Mhm.
And that's one thing I've realized. I know all kinds of amazing people, my mom being one of them. Yes, Mom, if you're watching, this is for you. All kinds of people that put them, and her best friend, my mom's best friend, Trina, I love you if you're watching. I just came from her a wedding, my mom's friend's son's wedding in California. And she's just has a heart of gold. Like if there's a person I could compare her to, it's Mother Teresa. This woman is just amazing. Always there for others, always caring and giving to others. My mom and her best friend, both. One thing that I can say to both of them is love yourself first, because we can give and we can give and we can show love and compassion to all those around us. But if you're not giving that to yourself first, it festers inside your body and it causes disease. And it's so true. Like the studies that they've done on water, where you put different words on that water and it turns into, like if you put hate, the water festers and turns into disease and grows bacteria and all this horrible stuff. You put love and it thrives, and it creates fermentation and things that are healthy for our body. So that tells you right there, our body is what, 70-80% water. When you're saying those negative things to yourself, it's fermenting in your body. It's causing disease within our body. So I love the fact that you teach your children to be kind to others, but we really need to focus on our loved ones, of being kind to yourself. Stop saying mean things to ourselves. Mom, Trina. So yes, I'm calling some people out, but being there for others is great, but love yourself.
Mhm.
Don't say hurtful, mean things to yourself, because it really does start from within.
You start believing it too. I always say you got to pour into your cup before you pour into others, which is so true. That's why in the morning I have to go to the gym, have to get up, because I feel so much better. And, like I said, it sets the tone for the day. I'm already done. I'm energized. I'm good to go for the day. And, self-negative talk, I hear it so much. And I really try to throw that positivity out there. Like, no, girl, you look great. Like, you're not fat or this. I don't even like seeing the word fat. Like that's a word that I don't ever say, but just the self-negative talk. If we could get more women to think great of them, like, think better and, say nice things about themselves, I feel like the world would be a better place. Because you know what? If you have little girls or kids watching you talk about, oh my God, I look fat today. Oh my God, I don't look good in this outfit. Kids see that. And it all starts with being a mom and a parent, that self-negative talk, your kids might hear that. So think, say positive things about yourself. Like, oh, you look great today. Or like, oh my God, how do you like my dress? Or, then the kids are gonna be like, oh my God, you look great. So I feel like that self-negative talk.
I tell my kids every day, first thing you should do in the morning is look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. You're beautiful.
Yes.
Even if you're not feeling it because you got sleep in your eyes and crust all over. Yes, say it. I love you. You're beautiful. It's so powerful, because then it sets your day off right to have that positive outlook on life. And it really is hard. It's funny when you start this practice of saying positive things, then your kids pick up on it. And when you revert back to old ways or old habits, they will call you out. Like I've done it. Like I fall victim. I think we all do, where it's like, oh, what's that? You start pinching yourself. Like, what's that?
For sure.
kids will go, my kids will, Mom, you're beautiful just the way you are. Are you talking negative about yourself? And I'm like,
Oh,
you're right. You're right. No, I'm not talking negative. I'm voluptuously beautiful. You know, try to turn it around. But I'm like, they will be the first ones to call us out once we start this positive talk
yeah,
with ourselves. And then once that happens, that it'll bring accountability back to you.
totally. Yeah, I mean, I have days where I'm like, oh my God, I feel bloated today, or I look fat today, but I don't ever really say that. If I do, I always say the word bloated because hey, let's be real. We were always bloated.
But
Most
the
most
foods
women
that
that
are,
come in to see me, they're like, I'm bloated. Haven will just be like, Mom, just drink your tea. You'll be fine after that. So
I love it. Drink your tea, Mom. Because the truth is, with the preservatives and all the crap in the food, we can't help but get bloated, right? It's like you can take a sip of some tea that you don't know what's in it, but you go and get it from the grocery store, and all of a sudden your stomach bloats up, and it's like you look like you have a little pregnant belly. It's like, where
yep.
did that come from? Well, it's those toxins that were in that drink you just had. You have no idea because you think you're drinking something healthy. So we don't know what's in half of our food.
Mhm.
So bloat is going to happen. Bloat happens. The fact that your daughter already knows, Mom, drink your tea that will debloat you.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's what it's about right there, is teaching our children. I
Yep.
love
If you
that.
get a tea from here, it's a metabolism booster. So that's why.
Oh, okay. So it's the metabolism booster that you take.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have to try that next time I come, because we always need something for the bloat.
Yes. Well, when you first taught your first yoga class, Yoga After Dark, I created the Zenergy tea. So
I
that one's like a
love this.
peppermint relaxation tea. It literally says relaxation tea on the bottle. And then one of the other classes you taught, we did a lotus tea. So
Okay.
that one was a more energizer tea. So yeah, we have a
Yeah,
tea for everything.
love that. And peppermint is great for digestion
Oh
too.
yeah.
So that, yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. I love that. And then the energized tea, what else did it have in it?
Like our big teas have either collagen or hydration, energy and focus shots, like all the B12 vitamins. And then it has aloe, which is great for your digestive system. And the tea, it's a metabolism booster, burns calories. It's a thermogenic tea. So I get a lot of people that come in here every single morning and they get their tea because they feel good. It's not going to give you a crash like a energy drink, but it does have all the benefits to it. So
Awesome. I think we're about out of time.
okay.
So I want to wrap this up with you telling us your social, plug in those social media accounts, the AZ Body Bar, Energized Nutrition. If you want people to find you, where can people follow you, take your classes, and learn how to be a body sculptor themselves, or come in and get a nice tea from Energized Nutrition in Gilbert? Where can we find you, Addie?
So my tea shop is energized_nutrition. And then my body bar for my body sculpting is az.bodybar. And then my personal is linewife_Addie. My husband's a lineman. So that's where you can find me. I throw all positive vibes throughout all of my social media accounts, never any negativity. So yeah.
This is true.
Oh,
And
and then yoga. We teach yoga here at my shop. I am having a yoga class this Sunday. But yeah,
Sunday at what time?
9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. Okay.
Still some spots left. So if anybody wants to come,
Yes, I'll be there. Awesome. Yes, your family is the most adorable. I love your relationship with your children, with your husband. I've gone out with both of you several times, and I just adore you and I love you so much. And thank you so much for being on the show today, Addie. I will be in your shop soon to give you a squeeze and a hug and some love. Um, Thank you so much for all that you do and spreading your positive energy. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And thank you for always throwing out positivity as well.
All right, Addie. Well, I'll see you soon. And be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode of Whole-ly Chit.